Let me get this straight. The Jets asked the Browns about Shedeur's availability to be traded, and the Browns said they wanted a second-round pick. Keep in mind, they drafted this man with the 5th-round selection. He has not played in a regular season NFL game, but yet they want a second-round pick for him. Now, magically before the trade deadline, Shedeur is listed as questionable today due to a back injury and inactive versus the Patriots. And they elevated their practice squad quarterback Bailey Zappe to be QB2. Translation, the Browns never had any intention of playing Shedeur Sanders. They literally listed this man as inactive, so there'd be no chance he could possibly play even if Dillon Gabriel was terrible or got hurt. Browns fans, Kevin Stefanski hates you. The GM literally traded Joe Flacco so Stefanski would be forced to make Sheduer QB2. And he said, no, I'm going to go with Dillon Gabriel and elevate Bailey Zappe, who's been awful in the NFL. Now, this is organizational malpractice if I've ever seen it. And let's keep in mind, in these trade talks, the Jets are desperate. They're 0-7. Aaron Glenn does not want to be fired. He's a really good coach, but his quarterback play has been awful. When in the history of the NFL has a backup quarterback ever demanded a second-round pick? I can't think of a single situation. I'm in disbelief, and this might be NFL collusion because there's no way you won't play him and you won't trade him, despite him looking better than the starter Dillon Gabriel. Let me know what y'all think down below, man.
It doesn't get any easier. Each week you ask me, so.
How do you feel about your performance now? Does the loss diminish how you feel about your performance today at all, I guess?
I would throw the whole performance away for a win.
Because the results have to be better, obviously. When I say look at everything, there's just when you lose like this, you have to look at everything, every position, everything I'm doing. There's just it's frustrating for where we are as a team. So every position you have to look at. But let me say that with a young quarterback, you understand that there's going to be ups and downs. Yes, it does. But I just want to make the point that we just have to be better. Are we doing enough with the quarterback position? Do we need to do a better job? And I think I know the answer is yes.
All right, man, let's talk about Sheduer. I put some clips in there, man. Apparently, I didn't know this, and I put this brother's clip in there from TikTok. Because I ain't been following football for real, bro. The Lions really ain't playing. And after they did this on Sunday Night King, I really ain't been following because the shit all fake. I kind of been more into basketball, even though that shit fake too. But, so I didn't know they made Shedeur Sanders inactive and boosted Bailey Zappe to they boosted him to quarterback 2. Now, apparently to the brother video I'm going to play in the beginning, I'll play that one first if I remember. He said that the Jets called to trade for him and they said a second-round pick, but they drafted him in the 5th, which makes no sense. He ain't took a snap. You don't play him. So for the most part, it's the same thing with Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett wanted to be gone. He couldn't leave with them rigged-ass contracts. And what did they do to him? They put him on, they paid that. He had to take the money. He stuck. So, they're not playing Sheduer. The coach don't like him. The owner don't like him. I think Andrew Berry, the GM, was the only one that wanted him. So they drafted him. And so they don't want to trade him. I think he had like a little hip or shoulder. They took him off, put Bailey Zappe, made him inactive. And it's just to the point like, the coach don't want him. The owner don't want him. Why not trade him to the Jets then? Why not make a trade? And this is the type of thing that they try to show off in the, and this is what they try to do in real life. They want to butt break. They want to butt break black men. They always want to put black men up there. They're facing NBA gambling, facing criminality, and they want to butt break you to remind you what they're capable of. Ultimately, if I wasn't valuable enough, why not just trade me? Why draft me? But, I think it's sad. You wasted somebody's career like Myles Garrett. You can't control where you go. You sign a 5-year rookie deal being the number 1 pick. Then they can franchise tag you the next 2 years. Or you play on a year-by-year contract. If you get injured, you don't get no more money, until you get healthy and prove it again. And 5 years, they can control you. 2 more years with a franchise tag. So 7 years, average NFL career, 2.5. NFL stand for not for long. So they can control your contract for the first 7 years, And on a good thing, you get what? You get up to what, 4 years of stability, because one of them years are option years. So not only do they get an option on you, so after 4, if they want to put, I think, a 5th year option, they got you the 4 years without the 5th year option. If you do good the 4th year, then they still got you 2 more years for 6 years with 2 more franchise tags. But the players don't fight for nothing. They don't stand for nothing in the National Football League. They don't stand for shit. They take bad contracts just to get quick money. And this is the same thing where kind of the thing with Donald Trump is, where people don't understand the business of tariffs or what he's trying to do. They just want a quick fix. They don't care nothing about the future. It's kind of baby boomers where they just selfish and care about the baby boomers, care about themselves. But what he's trying to do is create to create more jobs and make people put salt in the game, or make them invest into this country. Let me say that first and foremost. He wants them to invest into this country. He wants them to invest. Therefore, creating more jobs in a more financially stable economy. But people don't. So, in the beginning, it's going to be rough. You got to take a loss to get a huge gain. But, it is what it is, man. Same thing with NFL players. They'd rather, lose, right? They'd rather just be losers the rest of their life than fix it. So Myles Garrett be stuck where he at, stuck in Cleveland, put up 5 sacks. And then what you get after that? You get 5 sacks and get blew out. Some guys don't even have 5 sacks as a full-time pass rusher this season. You got that in one game, and it don't matter. He said, I'll trade that for a win. But the games they playing with Shedeur Sanders is just butt break. He's just I would say he's under an unofficial suspension. I think that's what it is. They're trying to humble him. And one thing you notice about, the other side, the Brads and the Mayonnaise Nation, one thing you notice about it, they can't stand how flashy black people are. And I'm not talking about the sense of jewelry. They think, oh, he's braggadocious or he's arrogant, but that's just us. You notice they hate that we're really the poster child for toxic masculinity. We're really the poster child for masculinity. Whether the size, the hair, all those things, they can't stand masculinity because they don't have it like we have it. Look around the NFL, how many of them you see have? Take away the kickers and the punters and what they have. They're not masculine, they're not alpha. When you start talking about hearing things like them sharing their wives and them doing cuck shit and stuff, that don't like real masculine black men don't do that. So when they start hearing us, the confidence that we have, the posture that we have, how we can be oppressed in this country and still thrive under oppression, under systematic oppression, to be exact, and we still can thrive under that. They can't understand like how they still here, how they survive, and they can never go out in them fields like our ancestors did and do what our ancestors did in those fields. They could never. Man, these fucking drivers, bro, they is just some of the most irritating drivers in the freaking world, bro. But they can never do that. They can never fathom it. They can never understand it. They can never do that. So that's the issue. So that's probably what Kevin Stefanski got an issue with him with. Oh, he's bold, he's braggadocious, but all his teammates love him, from what we understand. So you rather put Dylan Gabriel in there, who can't play. We knew he couldn't play at Oregon. We knew he wasn't shit. So you rather just do that. It's like, okay, it's cool. The owner probably told you, just trade him then. I don't get it, trade him. But that's what bitter people do. And a lot of y'all got Kevin Stefanski's and what's the owner, Jimmy Haslam's on y'all friend circle. Believe it or not, some of y'all fucking girlfriends are just like that. Stop you from being great. They stop you from being great. They see your greatness. Nah. They don't look at it like we can do it as a team. No, a lot of y'all got haters, right? You got Kevin Stefanski's and Jimmy Haslam's right on your team. You got to get them devils up off me. Devil, get up off, man. My Boosie voice. I told y'all, man, no, man shouldn't be in his feelings. He should embrace Sheduer and bury the hatchet to this man and say, okay, let's fix the top. But if I'm Sheduer, I won't play no way. Why would I want to play for you? And you set me up in that last preseason game for failure. So you already trying to put me behind the 8 ball and set me up for failure. You know what I'm saying? If I'm him, I just work on my craft. You know, open my Bible, read my Bible, and just grind it out. Grind it out. Whatever that contract 5th year say, what is it, 3 years? I'm not sure. I grind it out, be the best quarterback I could be, study the film, study defenses, put the work in and be done with it. And if it ain't meant for me to have an NFL career, I'm going to trust in God and have another career. Because what they doing to him is cowardly. But brothers ain't gonna never wake up and say, hey man, let's do our own thing. Fuck this. They ain't gonna never stick together. The brotherhood in the of the NFL or the brotherhood of black men. I'll tell you that right now. And when NFL players and black people wake up and understand it's deeper than just you. Your children, your brother's children, your brother in the NFL, his children, your wife, your daughters. It's deeper than that, bro. And they sit out here and they sell out for peanuts. And then complain, I'm broke, and oh man, they doing this and that third to me, and I'm broke. And that's the fuck you get. That's what you get, homeboy. That's what you get. That's what you get. Ain't no quick get quick rich scheme, bro. That Ozempic that they taking, man, bro. You putting the Dr. Kevorkian needle in your arm. But, like I said before, that's why I say it ain't all about, y'all hear these, even you take the money out of it, you hear them, the best player gonna play and this, that, and the third. I remember I was mentoring this summer and I was talking to one of the kids. I ain't gonna say the school he go to. And he was saying that we got one of our quarterbacks. He was white. He said he only throw to white people. He don't throw to non-white people. And he said we got an Asian quarterback we competing. He throw to everybody. But just to say it's not I don't know who ended up starting. But just to say this, it's not about the best player playing. I say this, man. I remember I was in high school. I had this whole ass coach. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna say his name because he old. He might be dead. I ain't sure. He was an old ass nigga. I was somebody that passed, that good grades, A's, and he just didn't like me. You know what I'm saying? And it's cool. I can chalk it up to the game. He said some shit to my mother one time. My mother didn't want to tell me what he said. And I'm like, I pass all the classes. I come on time. Never really have a problem. I remember one time we got into this situation or whatever, right? This is why I really knew he was a whole ass nigga. I ain't gonna lie. He's a whole ass nigga. And we got into a situation. So, well, I can't say I did. So, a couple of my friends got into a fight. So, it was over a girl. So, they about, I probably say a quarter mile down the street. So, I'm bullshitting at the school because we walked the other way. I'm like, damn, where these niggas at? So, I'm down there bullshitting at school. They fighting. So, they fight some niggas and shit. And, I knew each other. And they fighting over, eventually it was over a chick. Chicks that wasn't shit, they fighting. So, I go down there, see what's up. The fight was about over. And they started jumping fences and shit. And the coach was the truancy officer. And, the guy that they was fighting over, one of the girls, he turned himself in, whatever, right? First, he like, man, yeah, whatever, right? So then we all ran. It's a whole bunch of shit happened in this story, though. I mean, somebody put a shotgun out their pants. Long story short, wrong place, wrong time, right? So we eventually had to go back for the other guy because we thought, something happened to him. And plus, we used to go to the schoolhouse after school all the time. So we went back to get him. So the principal came down the street and she suspended people like I forget, you got, you suspended indefinitely, you. She skipped over me. So basically everybody got suspended. Everybody was fighting. I wasn't fighting. So my mans we was going back for, that got caught. He told me, he was like, yeah, I told them that you wasn't in it. Right? He said, I told you ain't had nothing to do with it. And I didn't. Like, literally, I didn't. And so you got to understand, these niggas was fighting a gang. You know what I'm saying? So think about everybody else suspended. I got to go to school by myself. Right? But I'm like, I ain't do shit. Like, I literally didn't do shit. I I'll go to school by myself the next day, get off the bus, woo, go to school. It's good. So when I came to school, whatever, and I had left Voltech, got off the Voltech bus, went to school, and the coach was like, yeah, why everybody get suspended but you? Why you ain't get suspended? I'm gonna find out why you ain't get suspended. And I'm just like, you a hoe ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm just like, but what's so fucked up, what was a prequel to it, was when I didn't get suspended, because she was walking the street suspending everybody. You know what the niggas I said I was hanging out with at the time? Oh, why he ain't get suspended? Why? And I didn't I wasn't even there when them niggas was fighting. I promise you. I wasn't even there when they was fighting. He was like, why he ain't get suspended? And life make you think. Like, at the time, I ain't really think about it like that, but it made me think, like, damn, you know, them niggas really wasn't my friends. The nigga that said that, he wasn't my friend, bro. But eventually, you know, down the line, I figured that shit out. I was like, that was just some hoe ass shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's some hoe ass shit. But like I told y'all on the Free Game 89 channel, a lot of them dudes we got into that fight with, we was in that car that night. And I'm driving and shit, and we like, you know, they going over hypotheticals and shit. I'm home from college, and they like, yeah, if we get caught, it was like some shit, we get caught, you know, is you doing your time? And one of the guys, he was like, no, I'm snitching. I ain't going to jail by myself. I took that very seriously. I was like, you know what? Separated myself from them niggas. But long story short, bro, like sometimes people just don't like you. I don't feel like I was a bad person. I did my job. I did what I had to do. But some people just don't like you, bro. But you had niggas on the team selling dope, selling crack, fighting, doing all types of whole shit, but he ain't like me. And I had another homie, his mother was very involved in his life. He was a good dude. He ain't like him neither. So we kind of bonded together, man. Me and his mother, we all still cool. And he kind of just didn't like us, whatever. So it was just like, you know, my homie, he kept playing. I stopped playing. I ain't playing for this nigga. So I stopped hooping. But I'm telling y'all, sometimes, you know, some people just hate you for being you. And I think the whole thing about it, I know y'all say hate is a strong word, but it is what it is. Sometimes people see something in you that they wish they had. That's what I really think. But hey, I just wanted to pass that on. Hit the link in the description. Join the Patreon. Find me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, the whole nine. Peace.